All right, guys. So I got a message for you men out there who are experiencing significant obstacles in your life, maybe quote unquote failures or major disappointments, things of that nature. You know, we've all experienced them. We've all had challenges and obstacles, things that we looked at as major failures in our life or major disappointments, whatever the case might be. I wanted to make this message, as you can see, I'm on the road today heading to a meeting out of town, and I thought I would share some of my thoughts on this subject today. Specifically, the obstacle is the way. That's what I want to discuss for you men out there who are facing difficulties in your life right now. You're facing major obstacles. I want to share a paradigm with you, a mindset with you of shifting it from a negative to thinking it as the obstacle or obstacles that you are facing in your life is the way. The obstacle is the way. So let's talk about that. All of us have experienced obstacles in our life, be it with work, with family, with marriage and divorce, many types of things that we as men face in our society and in our culture today. But the question I would ask is, how are you viewing your obstacle? What is your perception of your obstacle? And have you ever considered that the obstacle or obstacles that you are dealing with right now in your life are actually part of your specific journey? And that if you go towards the obstacle, success is actually on the other side of the obstacle. It's part of the reason why I started Resilient Man Channel is because I wanted to help and encourage other men out there, and hopefully through this message today, if you are going through some major obstacles and struggles, this message will encourage you. If you can make that paradigm shift, if you can adjust that to the obstacle is the way, you're going to get through it, and you're going to find true peace and happiness and success on the other side. My own story. I come from a very hard background. I grew up poor. I come from a dysfunctional divorce background as far as my parents go. Had to really work my tail off and struggle through life and try and figure it out along the way, which is the case for a lot of you men watching out there, watching this content. You didn't have a great role model, maybe. You didn't have guidance, and so you had to figure it out along the way. And as you encountered obstacles in your life, as you were coming into adulthood and manhood, you were kind of out there on your own. And so hopefully you can glean a little encouragement from this message here, because dealing with these obstacles of work, marriage, divorce, whatever the case might be, if you can remain calm, if you can put them in the proper perspective, if you can focus on the work that needs to be done, what you need to do to have success on the other side of this, you're going to come out of this much stronger and much more resilient. As I went through what I went through, specifically with my ex-wife, she came in one day. We had a very contentious marriage. I've shared in other content, dated for 2 years. Things were wonderful. Got married. It was absolutely horrific. And it was something I viewed as a colossal failure, quote unquote. a major disappointment, and it kind of put me in a space. Maybe some of you guys can relate to this. Maybe you're in this space right now, of which I was kind of lost and I didn't know how to move forward to correct this. Well, when she walked in and said, "I'm leaving," at the time she said, "I don't want a divorce. I just want to separate and see if, and let's work on our marriage separately," which caused a tremendous amount of problems, additional problems in our situation. And then there were more things that transpired to where I said, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm filing for divorce and I'm going to correct this. And that is where a friend of mine shared a book with me. And the book was called "The Obstacle is the Way." I highly recommend you get that book. Personally, I do audiobooks because as I'm driving along like this, I can listen. It's much more conducive for what I want to do. The book is called "The Obstacle is the Way." And so I listened to the book multiple times, and it really put things into perspective of what I was going through. If you put it in the proper perspective and then focus on what needs to be done to overcome, to get through it, to get to the success on the other side of that obstacle, you're going to be a much stronger, more resilient man. And so, in my personal case, my wife left, we were separated, and initially we tried to reconcile. That didn't work. After about 6 months, I said, "I'm done, I'm moving forward." I was then completely focused on the quote unquote obstacle, getting through that, which was going through a divorce, and what I wanted on the other side. What did a ideal life look like for me on the other side of that obstacle? What are you going through right now? What is your obstacle that you need to do that as well? Go towards the obstacle. I can tell you that with my specific obstacle, going through a divorce, I counseled with a great attorney. The advice I was given was lay low, take care of what you need to take care of, and when we can file papers for divorce, we will file papers and everything. We will go through the process. Once we were going through the process, in my specific case, we had to try and serve her. We had multiple different things. We couldn't find her to serve her. And so I had to go through those obstacles of trying to locate her, trying to serve her papers. In my specific case, the quote unquote obstacle actually worked out in my favor because we were able to document the process of trying to serve her, eventually petition the court to grant me divorce, and which is what happened. They granted me divorce. I walked away completely scot-free, and quite frankly, she didn't even know that I divorced her. She reached out to me about 3 or 4 months after our divorce with an email and said, we really need to bring this to a conclusion, and, we can't go on like this, in which I responded with one sentence: "We've been divorced for 4 months now." She then responded and said, "How did you divorce me without me knowing?" I blocked her and moved on with life. I share this story with you because the obstacle is the way. Don't run from the obstacle. Don't hide from the obstacle. Don't be fearful of the obstacle. The obstacle or obstacles that you are facing in your life is the way. They are the way. So guys, I wanted to share this message with you today because as I drive along here, I want to encourage you men out there who are dealing with tremendous obstacles, things that you see as quote unquote failures, major disappointments you have. There is life on the other side. There is peace on the other side. There is happiness on the other side. You just got to keep moving forward. You have to stay resilient, which is part of the reason why I started Resilient Man channel for men like you, to help guys like you who are going through these challenges and obstacles. So, guys, if you would, please support the channel by liking and subscribing, sharing it with your brothers out there. Let me know your take. Comment your thoughts as well. Guys, know your worth. Protect your peace.